when you're in a marriage perspective of it, you're not just showing love to her, you're also showing love to the little girl inside her.
God damn. Oh, excuse me. I was nice.
But you gotta remember, you're just not just showing love to her on the outside. There is a fragile, abused, hurt little girl that has been wounded.
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. It's DNS Soldier.
And this is Robby Too Fast, and thank you for tuning into the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. Today, we have a distinguished man of God, in our presence.
Amen.
He's from Eastern Maryland, currently living in Cambridge, Maryland. He works at AutoZone in Easton, and he's a Grubhub driver. So hit him up. You know, he's going to get your food to you real fast, like too fast. He graduated from Colonel Richardson High School, class of 2008. He's a father of one daughter. I hope I'm saying this, Mikkel. She's 14 years old. He's an only child. He's been married for 11 years to his beautiful wife, Dajahree. He's been a church musician for at least 20 years. Good Lord. Please welcome Dajahree Change. How you doing?
What's good with you?
Hey, man, you know, I don't know.
Starting already.
I'm just cool, man.
Thank y'all for having me on this, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for being interested, you know?
For sure.
Absolutely. So, shoot, we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
So, who is Dajahree?
Dajahree is a musician, man of God. Just a man just trying to be successful the best way I can. You know, I'm low key. I don't really do a whole lot. I just try to raise my daughter and be the best man that I can be.
What does success look like in your eyes? Like, what would you have to accomplish to be successful?
Well, for me, family, you know, have the essentials of what you need, you know, house, a decent house, at least 2 cars. They ain't got to be the best cars, you know, but wife happy, you know, daughter doing good in school. That's all I can ask for.
How does faith influence your perspective of love?
Without it, it's the foundation. Like, for me, it's the foundation of love. Like, if you don't, not to go to church, but if you don't have faith, I mean, that's like how you build naturally as far as and emotionally.
Do you feel like you can have love and not have faith?
You might not have you might not have an overly sized mouth, but as you know, faith the size of mustard seed. You know, but if you just got a little bit of faith, yeah, you can have love. It should be in there somewhere.
You said it's like the base. So do you feel like when you were seeking your wife or when you're trying to love your daughter, is that the first thing that you look to is what is your faith or what does your religion say about it? And then how do you go about it, or kind of your own perspective?
Well, as far as a wife, you know, I was always taught that biblically, you know, you should always, it's the man that finds a wife, you know, and so faith, you gotta be on the same level. Because without it, I mean, I say it's the base, and you should want when you're looking to find a wife, you should want somebody that's like equally minded, you know. So if y'all both have at least a little bit of faith, you got something you can build on.
So do you feel like without faith, it's not going to work?
I wouldn't say it's not going to work. It's just, it's not going to work as easy. So you're going to have marriage, you're gonna have stats, as they want to say, but without faith and knowing that you can make it through it, it's just gonna be, you're gonna be easy to say, hey, forget it. You have a disagreement over little stuff, like your wife may like the toilet paper going under, you might like the toilet paper going over. Then you having a petty disagreement like that, for one, that's stupid, but secondly, it's like you gotta come to a realization that it's really worth it. So that's, for me, that's saying like, we can get past this. This is petty. Recognize that this is petty, and versus taking something small and blowing it up.
Yeah, I feel like I agree. I feel like, especially if you have a relationship with God, both of y'all have a relationship with God, it does make it easier. I mean, it's going to be difficult, especially marriage. I'm not married, but I can only imagine if my relationship now is difficult, how being with somebody, for the rest of your life, you see them every day, I'm not saying that those are bad things. That's something I look forward to, but I know just living, for instance, like living with my siblings, like, they got them under his way more when I live with them than now, because it's like I'm looking at you in your face every day. You just, why do you look like that? And it'd probably be the same thing, with somebody that you intimate with, your wife. So, but I definitely feel like if y'all both have a relationship with God, you can always go back to that, because like that's like like you said, the foundation and I guess you could say like the rule book, in a way, the base of what you could look back to, like, look, this is how I'm supposed to be as your husband. She can go back, this is how I'm supposed to be as your wife. And it's not always easy, but if your relationship with God is, if you're actively working on that, then when you're actively working on trying to have a better relationship between y'all two, then I feel like that can definitely, make it easier when it is tough, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be a bunch of tough times.
You gotta know your roles, man. So you gotta know your roles, and that's the problem with some marriages today.
So like, I don't think I've been in a relationship where like I've based God as the foundation, like looking towards the Bible or the words, but I can't say that 100% because like I was told like some of my beliefs and stuff like that is already on that path. I'm just like, it's just natural. I was born in a Christian household, I was raised Christian. And if anybody asks, I'd be like, I'm Christian, but I've never like actually tried to like adamantly implement that in a relationship, pray to God, like, God, look, like when I'm conflicted, how should I handle this? I usually do that on me, or like whatever I feel in that moment, just move off of like my experiences. So I can't really speak on whether it'd be easy or not, because I've never tried that.
Yeah, well, man, sometimes you gotta, it's versus, you kirking out over something, sometimes you just gotta be like, yo. And it ain't gotta be no Our Father. Sometimes you just, Lord, she get on my nerves. And I told her I don't like broccoli. She done put broccoli on my plate. So sometimes you just gotta take that minute. I just need you to help me because, I don't want to go in there and cuss her out.
So I guess like hearing that, my question would be like, when you like refer back to the Lord and stuff, as you taking the time, like, okay, Lord, give me the strength, so like, what does that look like if you're not using the Lord? You know what I mean? Because personally, me, like, she getting on my nerves or whatever, I do talk to my own self, hey, bro, you just gotta chill, you know what I mean? But I don't be like, Lord, give me the strength to whatever. I wonder if I change, if it'd be the same result, or, would I feel less conflicted when I do?
Well, when you have the Lord, I mean, it's like you can do that same thing, but you feel like you can be put along with that. It's like, on top of you talk to yourself and say, look, I need to. So when you calm down, you also feel like you got that extra force with it. So it's like, it's not just you saying it, then you talking yourself down, but also, you just gonna feel like a calmness, because it starts with a mindset, man. Like, I don't want to do this. You used to cussing, you might be used to saying, look, I'm gonna tell her how it is, but sometimes get your mindset right. Like, gotta really think about it. Is this really worth arguing over? Like, am I really worth going over the edge?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my best advice.
Okay.
Now go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like it go back to that ego, like what YJ was talking about. You edging God out.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to figure it out on your own, like you trying to do it on your own, but sometimes you don't got the strength. God gives you that extra strength, that extra calmness that you need to be able to go into a situation where, on a regular, you know what I mean? Like, man, look, I'm ready to cuss her out. But when God is in it, when he's giving you the strength, when he's, when you're letting him, be the foundation of what you're trying to do, then sometimes something you might have cussed her out over, it's like, you know what? Like DJ was saying, like, it's not even worth it, or I'm able to kind of come in at a calm way where she's able to receive it versus on my own strength. I don't got it. Because like I can say it.
Because you know what you want to do.
You put that broccoli on there one more time, that's it.
I told you too many times. Yeah. It's just, like I said, start that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You got to just take time and think. Like, I don't know, they used to say that when I was in like elementary school, they used to have these think before you speak and all that type stuff. Like, that's now in adulthood. You got to think before you speak, not just in relationships or marriage, for anything.
That's for sure.
Somebody tick you off on the highway, you might not think before you but like if somebody step to you wrong on the streets, look, let me get out of here, or let me go this way, because it look like you're about to be real ugly.
Yeah,
you can feel it.
Yeah, that's something I try to implement, especially dealing with, like I got a little brother, or in my relationship, or just, working. I work with people with mental health, and like you definitely got it, because sometimes it's just not their fault. Like, like I work with a woman, she got, I don't know if I can say that, but she got a certain thing with her brain where she can't control it. So some things she say, it's not her. It's not a conscious decision. Right. That's her brain. It just makes it tick. So, and if I react to that, like I have control over that, and she don't got control over that. And so,
so you got to keep that.
Yeah.
Remember, if she catch you on a bad day.
Yeah. That's it.
What you say?
Be like that. All it takes, that bad day, wrong place, wrong time. You feel me? I ain't even had no beef with you, bro. You was just there, looked at me wrong. You feel me? Yeah. All right, so
I ain't need to be a Tasmanian devil over here. Smack you with a front
So, did being a musician give you a greater level of access to women?
Yeah. Listen, I got stories, man, but if you ain't careful, it can mess you up. It can ruin your reputation. So, like you said, I've been a church musician for 20 years. So I've been every denomination, big church, small church. I've been down that road, but like I said, if you ain't careful, just like you have stuff out here on like what's the show, like Love and Hip Hop and all that. You see how they go through it. Same thing in the church world. You can end up. And I won't mention names, but you can end up like certain people.
Yeah.
And you got groupies over here, you got groupies over there. And I done had it where you walk into a church and somebody mad, and then the spirit is flowing, and they sitting here plotting on you. And that's not a good look. Not a good look. So it gives you access to women, but be careful with that. Yeah.
I mean, you said you got stories. I don't know if you want to share one of them stories, or I don't want to get you in trouble.
I'm going to choose my word wisely. I got to go home now. So, and one time, I was, I started out playing drums. And man, I had girls. Had the one girl over in Fellows. I was trying to be slick talk. Then she wasn't really trying to give me no play. Or next thing you know, so I go to another church. Another girl was there. I'm talking. You know, I'm pursuing her. Then all of a sudden, I'm in my mindset, feeling like I can, as they say, have my cake and eat it too. I'm joking. I'm like, all right, I got this. I got this back when MySpace was popular. So, you know, when people was buying, what they was buying friends or whatever, however.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know this person. My cover is blown.
Oh, nice.
My cover is blown. I'm like, then this tore my whole character up. He ain't nothing. He's a playboy. That's when you get that church, what they call it, Pentecostal playboy. You don't want that. That kind of slander, man.
Pentecostal playboy is crazy.
But to have that mindset, and then that's all right. That's fun, or seeming fun, like when you're young and like not a mature mindset. But
Yeah.
when you get older, like I am now, it's like, what was I doing?
Yeah. Nah, I remember one time we went to a second service. The three of my exes were sitting in the crowd. I said, "Good." My mom knew it too. She was sitting beside me. She told one of our members too. She's like, "Yeah, Robby got three of his exes here." I said, Jesus." Lord, I just sat in the back. I don't want nobody to see me.
You feel like praying, then you Lord.
I just hope they don't turn their head slightly to the right. They all gonna see me.
Straighten your neck up, Lord. Just keep it straight. Don't let them look over here.
But
It's hot in here. They turn the hell off.
yeah, it's hot in here. It's crazy.
And it's only hot in your spot. Like the rest of the church cools is hot in your spot.
For real, definitely, man. As soon as the pastor said amen, I was gone. Wait, he didn't say amen. Hey,
Out the door like Roadrunner. Where Robby at? Oh, he home.
But what does it mean to you to be a father?
Man, fatherhood, it means the world to me. My daughter means the world to me, and I've gone through a lot. You know, I tell people it's not that I was an absent father when she was younger. I just wasn't there as strong as I should be.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of slacked up on my responsibilities a little bit, and I will admit that. But like I said again, after a while, you got to just realize the child has to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, regardless of what me and her mother might have had going on or whatever, I just had to mature up and father. Mm-hmm. So as you going through stages and going through things, you mature up, and your mindset is just like, you realize this is the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world to be a father, and, you know, to be able to pour into your child and to be able to just, you know, watch her grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
why weren't you there as strongly in the beginning?
Well, me and her mother was going through things, and at the time I was in a, you know, heck with it stage. You know, like I was again immaturity. Mm-hmm. So I had to go through a lot of hell, you know, in order to realize, hey, cut it out.
Yeah.
You know, get your stuff together.
Yeah.
So it's like with me just feeling like, you know, heck with it, I just was like, you know, yeah, I do what I can. I do this. I wasn't as passionate. Wasn't putting my best foot forward, because I was like, I was mad at her mom.
Right.
You know, so it's almost like a common situation like you see out here now, sad to say,
mm-hmm.
but, you know, other kids that suffer because the parents, you know, mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, it's the mother that's just like, your daddy wasn't this and nothing. Mm-hmm. So the child suffers because now they don't have a father, or, you know, or you got the child's with the father. Now they don't have the mother because the mother's like, you know, because women get tired too.
Yeah.
You know, they can be like, you know what? You think you can do what you do? I'm out.
Yeah.
You don't hear about that too much, but that could happen.
Do you feel like that hindered your relationship with your daughter at all?
Yeah. I feel like that because, like, I feel like the picture was painted of me. It was a false facade, if I can say it, of me, mm-hmm. you know, because 9 times out of 10, again, and you hear, what do we hear? It's in some situations, it's the female saying, "Oh, your father wouldn't this." They putting that fake picture in the child's head. So then that kind of has that can have the child believe that, oh, my daddy is not this. So that led to me blaming myself, and which blaming myself also hindered me from not even more wanting to mature, because now I'm feeling like, oh, woe was me. When all you gotta do is get your stuff together, man.
Yeah. Have you and your daughter ever had a talk about that, or?
We've kind of touched around it. I don't really want to. Now she's more mature. She may get to have questions about it, but I've kind of touched around it. I just don't want to affect her mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want her to stay focused. I don't want her to feel like, they have to get stuck on that.
Yeah.
See what eventually, if she's comfortable talking about it, I will talk about it. But see what you have your dad now. I'd do anything in the world for you.
How does being a musician affect your ability to be a father?
I wouldn't say it really affects. It wouldn't really affect me per se. If anything, it helps me to enhance me to be a father.
How so?
Because that's, again, with me playing, sometimes I go to her grandparents' church. They ask me to come and play, so I go there sometime. So it's more so it enhances me to be a father, so I'm able to see her more.
Yeah.
If she's not at my mom's house, I can see her there because she ushers at her church. So, I'm saying that to say, as far as the visitation, being able to see her, and also it's important for me to see her, operate how she does. She's an usher. She wants dad to see her usher. So that's also like important, Yeah.
Is she musically inclined too? Is that something she's interested in? Or?
She can sing. She can sing. She gets that honestly from me and her mother. She wanted, when she was younger, she wanted to learn keyboard later. Then she kind of got out of it. Now, when she was a baby, she used to, be trying to sit at the keyboard with me. One time I was at her grandparents' church and I put her down, and she, how little kids, they come banging. Next thing I told her to stop. She threw a pacifier at me. So, but other than that, man, there's nothing else she can sing. She's not really too much more into the keyboard, but singing, yeah.
How did you become a musician?
Well, started at my home church, and I was, like I said, I've always been a drummer since I was 9. One Sunday we didn't have a keyboard player, and I kind of had been home just kind of messing on the keyboard. I had a cheap little Casio keyboard, and I had been learning songs and playing at other churches in town. And one Sunday, our musician didn't show up for a couple of Sundays, so I kind of, one of the ladies at my church, she knew that I played, and she was just kind of pushing me. Like we was in between two services one Sunday. She came up to me. They were singing and whatever. She was like, "You can play. Go on up there and play." And I was like, "Nah, I won't do it." She was like, "Nah, you can play. Go play." So I started doing it, and then next thing you know, that pushed me to even more just pursue and learn.
Yeah,
that's interesting actually, because that's how I started playing the drums too. Like my brother used to play for the church, and because he was my brother, I used to sit in the back and watch him. But the way I am to learn, I gotta watch, but I'd also imitate. And then my stepdad had the keys to the church, so we used to get there early. So I would mess around, and one day the drummer not there. They're like, "Well, we know you can bang those sticks." So I'm like, "All right, you know what I mean." And from there, it just kind of took off. Started playing drums, saxophone, etc., etc. Oh yeah, that's actually interesting for her.
Yeah, I know Soldier can play the saxophone.
Yeah, he played like 15 different instruments.
Music is my passion for her.
Never knew.
Remember that one time we was at Pastor Tim's, he was playing the drums and I was on the keyboard and he was on the guitar.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot. How long it's been?
Man, that was weird. That was probably like 8 years ago.
Yeah, man.
And it's crazy because I knew you as a keyboard player because that's when I used to always see you at the church playing the keyboard. He's like, "No, I'm really a drummer." I was like, "I don't know how much better you can be at drums than the keyboard." You start playing the drums, I'm like, "Yeah, nah, you got it."
Man, look, drum is home base for me, man. Like, man, I people ask me all the time, "What do you like playing better, keyboard or drums?" And I have to trade a keyboard for some drums in a minute. Yeah. So that's just what I started. I was in marching band doing it. I did, I did marching band. Big old fat snare,
Stuff.
They try to put me like Ricky Smiley said. They try to have me be little poopy with drum. You did a marching. You ain't doing me like this.
Who was the marching band person we used there?
The instructor, Mr. Earl Jeffrey.
Oh, okay.
Now that was He called you out in a minute. I remember we was training for a marching band, and they had us go out back and march around the track. Mm-hmm. So he on the loudspeaker, change, get in step. I'm like, all these people. He always had something to say, but it was meant to push you though. That's my thing. But it was like, kind of like drill sergeant a little bit. Mm-hmm. I was mad at him, wanted to hit him with that drum a few times, but I was sure, nah.
And I get it.
But the marching step is important, sorry.
No, you get it, yeah. Nah. I always wanted to play the drums, but I feel like I was always nervous too because at the time it was Pastor Rob, his son Elijah was one that was playing the drums. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not ready to take the pastor's son spot. But then I think like one Sunday he wasn't there and I had the sticks, and then I just hopped on, and then we ended up just going back and forth every other Sunday we'd be going. And then I learned how to play the keyboard a little bit because my dad bought me a keyboard for Christmas one year, and then that was around the time that we all played at the church at one time, and I was like, yeah, that's when I was really, really into it. I was like, look, I can't sing, but I can play the keyboard. I get them girls, man. I'm gonna play this out of here.
Yeah, see, look, trying to be slick.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, man. Started playing the sax. Oh yeah, those raps.
Y'all can relate to Pentecostal Playboys.
Yeah, for sure. But what's your favorite thing about being a musician?
Man, I would say travel, but that would kind of fall on my least favorite thing. Mm-hmm. But just being able to help, like, being able to be a light to somebody's day. It's a lot of situations going on, world situations, but sometimes music can be uncommon, man. And that's not even just aside from jazz and all that. Gospel music can even calm you even more, man. Like, something that can really speak to what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. It's aside from church and preaching and all that, but gospel music has been known to save people from suicide. And so my thing to answer the question is just being able just to be a light to somebody's day, being able to minister to somebody's needs. I might not be behind the pulpit preaching, but
right.
it can minister, and seeing a relief on people's faces, let them get what they need.
We always start our church. You don't start with the word, you start with the songs, and that kind of ushers in the spirit. That brings people in. It gets people in the right mindset. Or we used to always go to church around what had the music playing to get ourselves in the right mindset to enter into the house. Or even now, I listen to. We rap, so I listen to our music, or I mostly listen. If I'm not listening to our music, though, I mostly listen to R&B But for the most part, it's definitely gospel or gospel rap. That kind of just, gets my mindset right from having a bad day. Kind of just puts me back, Next, one moment I'm sitting here like Soldier, straight face, and next thing you know, I'm singing my heart out. I'm like, dang, how'd I get here? I was just mad, but it just calms you. It just brings a sense of peace over you.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it's needed because that could save you from doing something drastic.
As for that, now honestly, gospel music probably falls on the lower end of my favorites. You know what I mean? But there's a couple gospel songs that on a good day I'll play. Yeah. Not even a bad day. I just got to be in the mood for that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's cool, but I don't be feeling that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe because you already walking that path, it might be a like that connection, that connection you have, you might be able to receive that feeling quicker than, possibly someone who's not walking down that path. You like in tune with that more than the next, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, now don't get me wrong. Some days, like I'm not always on, the gospel train. Sometimes you need, I tell people I listen to jazz, I listen to, R&B. I mean, sometimes it might, now I wouldn't say R&B perhaps minister, but like something, something in a positive form could speak to your day, sometimes, or jazz or neo soul. Sometimes you don't always need words. Sometimes for me, you don't always need words. You just need to take that ride and just have something calm.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
You have a rough day, somebody tick you off on the job, You just need something, take that ride home,
Yeah. I think R&B does minister though. I definitely think there's some songs that's kind of a little bit, talk about some, make it nasty, that, but there's
Reverend John Gill and all that.
yeah. But then there's some songs, them classic black people songs like Love by Keisha Cole, you put that on, everybody in the song singing, it just makes you feel good, or like So Beautiful or even Love by Music Soul Child, So Beautiful by Music Soul Child.
Yeah.
Can You Stay in the Rain If It Isn't Love? Like there's just certain songs, like, like it just, it's in your head right now. I just said it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he just went there. He left. He said, yeah, man.
Yeah, so, and I feel like, some of them songs, they might not be like talking about God, but it just makes you feel good. Or even, even Love by Music Soul Child, like it's called Love, but he was talking about God in that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just, everybody has that gift. They might not use it specifically in the church, but they do minister to you, and it kind of keeps you in a clear headspace. You know what I mean? That's why I listen to R&B, because sometimes I might not want to listen to gospel. Some days R&B, but it keeps me in that peaceful mode.
Yeah, man. And music is a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, man, it's all about what number one your type is, because of course you got gospel, you got R&B, you got hip hop, you got country, you got so on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not careful, it can steer you off the wrong path as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, it's for me, it's a common agent. It's I don't know, sometimes, but it's all in how you feel. It can stimulate, it can stimulate, but it also can deter you away, especially what gets in your ear gates sometimes.
Yeah. And this could and not to be too deep on it, but Lucifer, he was a minister of music.
Right.
The music flowed through him. His voice was more angelic than all your favorite, all the people you think you could sing well, all of them put together. His voice is more beautiful than that.
He can run it from, he could do it 10 times better than me.
Yeah, he had instruments built into his body, like
that ass.
Yeah.
I'm doing the bottom.
Like he was in heaven. He got kicked out.
That is scary though. Think about it, man. He had instruments actually in his body.
A whole xylophone in his body. Xylophone, drum set in his stomach.
Nah, that's crazy.
But that's why they say the music industry is demonic, because he was like, music flowed through him, like worship flowed through him.
But don't worship also flow through the Lord? Ain't you saying to get in the mood? How does church start? Through music?
Yeah. It flows to him, like they're worshiping him, but like it went through him to God, like the worship. You know what I mean?
See, he was an angel, and so the music was, like you said, was flowing through him. But then when he decided he wanted to do his own way, and he didn't want to be obedient and follow it, play the same type of music that we. After a while, they got annoyed. I'm putting this in layman's terms.
Yeah,
God was like, "You don't want to listen? See you."
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know who it flows through now. I don't know.
Well, that's just the things I think about,
Yeah.
God flows in the music, but that is something to think about.
Yeah.
Now, about gospel though, I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to bang with some gospel rap. That oh you holy, huh? Yeah, that's right. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I like the gospel rap more than I like the. There's a couple gospel songs that's cool to me, but I think the raps just resonate with me more.
There's some dope artists out like as far as even local gospel artists like they got some stuff coming out. I done heard a couple things and it's common, you know. It's,
I feel like sometimes too, it's what you grew up with. Like I grew up with those gospel songs, you know. Like you grew up with Kumpa, so you hear that, you know what I mean?
Kumpa.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
You grew up with that, so that kind of, you know,
two-stepping.
like about T-step before you pulled up when you.
How do you balance being a father and marriage? Well, how do you balance fatherhood and marriage?
I'll say this: the way my situation is kind of easy right now because I don't have my daughter all the time, so it's kind of laid out for me a little bit, but it can be challenging, you know, especially working and everything. But and then with her schedule as far as talking about my daughter, like, you know, right now because she's going to go back to school in a couple of weeks, so she, you know, that's gonna be busy, but it's more so on me, just my work schedule, because sometimes it's fluctuating, you know, and you don't really have time. You don't really get that quality time that you need on both sides, both the marriage and a father. Yeah, because sometimes you can be working and don't even realize, you know, and the way time goes, it's like I done worked the whole month and ain't took no time out for myself. Yeah. So
I know I had 2 full-time jobs for a majority of the part of last year, and that's something that like my mom or even my girl, you know, they be like, look, like you got to take time out for yourself. And like me, I'm like, nah, man, I would really go to work. I would go to work from like 9 a.m. to I think it was 6 p.m. Take a nap, get up, go to work 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Take a nap, get up, go to work. I do that for the majority of the week. And then it's like, you know, I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm just going to work, stack this bread. But then sometimes, you know, I'll go out to like a Ravens game or the Orioles game or just out to dinner or to the movies. And it's like, you know, maybe life is more than sleeping and working and eating, you know. And or even though those people that you in your life, you know, like spending time, like, you know, I don't have no kids, but with my girl or with my siblings and stuff, it's like it just kind of recharges your battery to be able to do what you need to do, you know. So that spending time with your daughter might recharge your battery, you know, to be able to go ahead and be with your wife, or even vice versa, you know. Wife, like, you know, charge you up and then you go put that energy into your daughter.
Yeah, you got to make that time. I'm not saying that time is not important. It's definitely important, but I'm just saying if you don't, again, go back to your mindset. If you don't space everything out while playing, you know, you'll find yourself just like boxed in a cycle and can't get out of it. And and especially in relationships, like, well, in your case, relationships and marriage, man, you don't make the quality time in marriage, that can put a strain as well. You know, because after a while, you know, my wife can be like, you know, look, you're not doing this, you know, you know, and it's not always, it ain't always what people think, like you gotta be in the bed. No. Sometimes you need to go take a walk, you know, go take a walk out, or you need to go to dinner, or go bowling or something. It's just about, like you said, having that time to just reset, and that works on both sides of the coin. That could work for her. Yeah, she needs time to reset from her everyday life. You know, you all just need time together. Yeah.
Have you ever had to choose between music and your family?
Yeah. I have had to kind of. I've had a few situations because when you don't plan and don't book, like you can, if you don't have a calendar, get a calendar, you know, like, because if you don't, that doesn't go for just music, being a musician or whatever. You don't get a calendar, you can overbook and don't even know you did it. Yeah. You know, people have somebody asked me to play, and oh yeah, I'm good, and then my wife would be like, well, you know, we were supposed to go to the dedication over here, and I'm like, yeah. So it's like, now what am I supposed to tell these people? You know, I told them I could come, and then it's like, which one do I want to marry me? So it's like, and I made the wrong decision, of course, and I'm like, well, I already committed to something, so we might not be able to do this. But that can put a strain on the relationship or your marriage as well. And I prioritize. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just all about prioritizing. So yeah, I've had situations, and I've had some heated arguments because of not prioritizing. Yeah, and that's important.
That's something I'm still learning. Well, I think I'm doing better now. But like when I was in the beginning of my relationship, I would like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Not really thinking out like, hold on. First of all, do I got the bread? Do I ever got the money?
Right.
How we gonna get here? How much time? You know what I mean? So I was just boom, boom, boom. But she checked me. She was like, look, stop telling me stuff. Because then you get my hopes up, and now it don't happen. Like, nah, that's not cool. That's not fair to me. So now I take the time. Like she'd be like, hey, look. I'd be like, hey, look, I gotta check back with you. Like I need that. I'm not giving you no answer until I 100% know. And then sometimes things come up, but as soon as it come up, I let her know. I'm like, hey, look, like, and she's like, well, you let me know in advance. It's not like you let me know an hour. I'm already halfway dressed. And you're like, oh yeah, by the way, babe, we ain't going to that movie.
That's when you get the sister girl. Yeah, I did my makeup out.
You taking me somewhere?
Somewhere.
Yeah. So that I still struggle with that, to be honest. Matter of fact, yesterday I was supposed to go somewhere with my girl in between recording, but then we added another recording. Like when you asked me, I was like, cool, we already on business. We here, let's do it. The whole team, she like, hey, where you at? Oh, about that. My phone, baby. But yeah, I'm bad just in general. My memory be bad, like remembering certain things and stuff. So to get a reason, I have Google Calendar. You just put it in there. You probably got tired of me asking, hey, when so-and-so, when are we doing this? Bro, just get the calendar and you good.
Yeah, man, because I'm telling you, every calendar is a lifesaver. Whether it be Google Calendar or anything, because I've done that, man. And then when you overbook and you don't prioritize, that can also mess up your reputation. Because like I've double booked myself a few times, so it's like I've had to, say, hey, the day off, and I'm not thinking, and the day off, I'm like, I can't make it, or I made the wrong decision not showing up. I remember one time I did that. I did that. I was supposed to play for somebody's wedding. Wedding day. When you talk about graduation, we talk about a wedding day. And I had an engagement. I had a engagement to play somewhere else for a big church. I think it was a choir I was playing for or something. And I had double booked myself, but I did the wrong thing, and I skipped out on the wedding.
Oh Lord, no, boy,
I skipped out on the wedding. Oh my goodness, man. And now, at my previous job, this lady was a customer of mine. It's like we was cool. She come in, we laugh, joke, and whatever. After that weekend, and I didn't show up to. I promise you, I saw fire in her eyes. I thought she was boy. I said, never again would I do nothing like that. I felt so bad.
Yeah, why did? Oh yeah, they don't play by that.
I felt so bad. Her husband was like, I was like, man, look, I'm sorry. He was like, I'm cool. I ain't really want the big wedding anyway. But I said, yeah, but I'm just sorry. Yeah. And for a while I struggled with it on my conscience because I don't want to be nobody like that, especially on her wedding day. Yeah. So that's why I say prioritizing is definitely important because again, that could put a bad reputation out. He left me hanging, so that's why I don't fool with him no more.
I gotta do better with that. When cutting hair, I was bad on that. Dude called me. Called me a month ago. He's like, "Hey man," and at this time I stopped cutting at the shop. And he was like, "Hey man, you gonna be at the shop this weekend?" I do damn that job. I got something doing that. That's actually my last time I'm doing that. But
calendar,
yeah,
and be honest with people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's more, I just don't like letting people down. I just don't, and
that's me.
Yeah, I don't like letting people down. And even though the right thing is to call, which, you know, I know, like, that's the thing to do. And I do that now, like.
Call ahead of time.
Yeah. But it's just like, I just still, even though I'm doing the right thing by telling you, I still feel bad. The fact that I got to tell you, like, nah, like, I can't do it. Because it's just like, you know, I don't want you to, you know, like you said, your reputation is actually, especially in business, you be like, oh man, I'm supposed to depend on him. Nope, don't go to him. Or who you borrow, right? He don't like answering his phone. See,
I'm going up the street.
Yeah, so that's just.
There's money out your pocket.
Yeah. Or even, you know, the money, I'm going to make money. And not like I'm being cocky. It's just, you know, that's just business, like, you know. But I think just to let people down, I just hate letting people down.
Yeah, because it for me, it weighs on you because you feel like you go somewhere, you feel like somebody, they done told somebody or something, you know?
Yeah, you feel like you can't even go in that area. I can't even, I drive super fast past that barbershop. I don't even.
You become super fast then, not too fast anymore.
But what does the church get wrong about relationships?
Say it one more time.
What does the church get wrong about relationships?
They give the wrong perception that you got to spend all your time there in church. You can't. You know, yes, you got to have faith. We talked about that in the beginning. You got to have faith. Definitely, I agree. You should go to church, but also there's times when you need to take a little break. Mm-hmm. Because marriage is your first ministry. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, God understands that because that's the way He wrote it. But you got to take time out for y'all, or if not, even in marriage, sometimes in relationships, you got to take time out. Mm-hmm. You know, as you getting to know, how you going to get to know the person you with if you're in church 24/7. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, every time she want to go to the bowling alley. Nah, I got to go to council this week. You just went council last month. Yeah. You know, sometimes you got to, again, prioritize and say, hey, you know, Pastor, though, I kind of working on things, so I just, it's right if I miss Wednesday night or miss this week, so we going to whatever. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't even go nowhere, sometimes you got to take time out for that person. But anyway, I think that's the main perception that they give is that you have to be to every service. Mm-hmm. And that's the number one thing. Yeah. I think I agree. I think that's something when I was younger, I actually thought about. I'm like, dang, like, how do you have time for yourself? Especially like if you work Monday through Friday, and then even church Sunday. Yeah, church Sunday, and then Saturday you got cleaning day. You know, you got to do laundry and clean the house. You know, I mean, like you really what day? And then you're supposed to rest too. You got to rest your body. What day does that fall on? You know, yeah. And it's not like, you know, being disrespectful, like you said. It's just kind of like that's just real life, you know. I mean, that's what they did. Okay, I get it. That's what they did in old days. You know, they was at church every service, but nowadays, you know, mental health. Sometimes you need to decompress in your mind. You know what I mean? And like you said, that's the church. For the most part, the church will always be there until the rapture. You know, all that comes. But if you don't really work on you, or not even just if you're in a relationship, sometimes you just got to take a break from you. That's even outside that. Yeah. Because if not, you'll feel like, you know, pressure. Yeah. And yes, God can help and praise God and all that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you might need to you yourself need to take a walk on the beach. Yeah. Yeah. And just sit by the water. Yeah. I think we talk about church. I think that's everything. You need to take time from your job. Sometimes you got to take time from relationships, take time from family, you know, take time from a lot of different things, you know, because that put pressure on you because it just become overwhelming. Like sometimes, like for me, I'm off my job right now, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Friday is my do nothing day. I don't do nothing that day. I might edit some clips, but for the most part, I'm not doing nothing that day. I don't go to the gym. I don't do nothing that day. Like, we not planning no dates this day. Don't ask me that. I'm not cutting hair. Nothing. Friday is my do nothing day. Right. Saturday we can get back to it. Sunday, you know what I mean? But Friday,
I'm doing nothing today because I'm tired. I've been dealing with people all week. I've been handling business. You know what I mean? But Sunday we can get back to it. Monday we got our business meeting, planning everything, making sure this is straight. And I got to work all week. Friday, don't ask me to do nothing. Don't call me about nothing. Matter of fact, I'm not here. You know, I don't got no phone.
I'm not here. I'm not here, but I'm sitting here.
I mean, though, on that whole not going to church or going to every service. See, I was told as long, you know, like you can have church by yourself. You know what I mean? You don't gotta go into an actual church to be able to praise God or feel like you're receiving God's blessing or his love, you know, through your prayers and conversations with him. At least that's what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
So our church, like back when I was in Florida, we used to go Sundays, Saturdays, and Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to make us go every time. My brother wanted to be a pastor, actually, and he'd be the one who like, we don't have to. You know, we could. Why can't we just sit right here, hold hands, bow your head, let's pray, let's talk about a few things, and that's church. Because what's the difference between it just being more people? Like, to be honest, if we sit here, we might sing a song or something. You know, we're going to read the Bible. We might talk about what we read. We're going to pray. What's the difference?
That's true. Like you can, you know, there's nothing wrong in doing that. But also, when you're around the people, you draw strength. You draw strength to more so get through life. Like, you know, you draw strength from what somebody else might be going through. Versus like, okay, I understand if all three of us are here right now. We sitting here. Yeah, this is good. We could draw. I could pour into y'all could pour into me, vice versa. But sometimes, you know, you can do this for a few times, but after a while, you get repetitive. It's like, I need something a little bit more. So yeah, that's why you draw strength from more believers around. Like if you're in the presence of more people, more believers, you can. The more strength you have, I mean, that's the easier. I feel like the easier things will be.
So then in the Bible, 1 can draw 1,000, 2 can draw 10,000.
There you go.
So, you know, the more people that are drawn together in his name, you know, they can draw more people or even draw more. Yeah, what you were saying, I guess you could say strength.
And in the Bible, since you went there, it says, you know, and I want to say it right, fret not the assembling of yourselves. So it says, you know, that's basically saying, yeah, you can do what you're saying. Like we can do this or do this for like a few, maybe once or twice, but don't forget, you know, don't stay away too long.
But who am I staying away from? The other people?
The other people and more so the presence of God. And it's not saying that God is not here. Like if we were here, God is everywhere, yes, but you should also want to be around your brothers and sisters as well.
Okay, now I have another question for y'all. Now, my experiences in churches, right? Not everybody who's in the church is as holy as they claim.
Right.
So now we got these false believers, or they can actually believe, but what's the word for it? What's the word?
They're not living out what they preach.
What's the word for that shit, bro? I know the word. I guess I don't. Anyway, so like,
I guess I don't.
Anyway, my point is, so when you're in this building, right? And the point was to be around your brothers and sisters to draw on their strengths. But can you still draw on their strengths if they're not actual believers?
Are you saying they're non-believers completely, or they're not perfect?
No, not even not perfect. Like, you know what you're doing. You come in here, I'm praying for the Lord's forgiveness, but then I'm going right back. I'm not trying to change for real. I'm not trying to do nothing for real. Like, I'm just here for a look. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I think it would be hard. It would be hard to. It would be kind of hard to draw strength off that per se, that person. But because y'all are basically looking for the same thing. Y'all are there to draw strength, off the atmosphere, if I can put it that way. So, but don't get focused on the one person. You know, for me, get focused on like the atmosphere itself. You know,
I think it's like Yeah, I think the person you're talking about is the person that's in your position, like Dajahree said. I think there's also, I think this is where the importance of people in positions matters. I feel like positions doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, like, oh, I'm above you, so I'm better than you, but more experience in a way to be able to guide you to where you're trying to go. So, like, you have pastors, ministers, deacons, prayer warriors, different things like that. Those are the people that are kind of ushering in that atmosphere for the people that are curious, that maybe don't know, that still have a way. We all have a way to go, but that maybe not have as much experience. So those are kind of the people to lean on, because everybody in the church isn't, there. Nobody's where they need to be, but everybody isn't at that point where, majority of their days are good. Everybody has that off day. You might be in traffic, man. I'm sorry, Jesus Lord. But for the most part, I feel like that's where those people, the deacons, the ministers, the pastors, assistant pastors, and then even there might be churches where everybody's acting a fool, where they need to go to a different church then, because obviously they're not on the time that they need to be on.
What about people who is, as you say, who holds these times? What if they're, like flawed or false, I should say?
I mean, we're all flawed.
Not in that sense, though. You know what I mean? Like in the
go to a different church. Find a different church. That's where your relationship with God comes in, where He can lead you to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Like He'll give you the discernment to. And sometimes He's not gonna tell you, soldier, go to Church of God in Easton. He's gonna you might just be out and be like, look, God, I need a church home, and you might, oh, I see that church, and you don't even you'd have forgot that you asked him to, and you just drive and you're like, maybe I'll just go in there. Or somebody, you might be in the store and they'll be like, hey, bro, you wanna come to my church? And you'd have forgot that you didn't ask him to get you there, and then you're there, you're like, oh, damn, this one I'm supposed to be, because you didn't.
See, maybe I wish like I've had y'all experiences, because in my experiences, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Like my churches that I've been to, damn near left, right, up, down, everybody on the same shit. And it's not even like I know I'm not perfect, Lord, guide me to the way. It's like, no, you're really living a facade right here. And you know you're living a facade. Soon as you leave these doors, you back on your bullshit. And you know you back on you, but you want to keep your image. No, I'm a Christian. So my thing is, okay, so even if it's a few people, how many people are actually in that church? And there's a reason I'm asking. How many people? Because if we're talking about drawing strength from all these people, but if we have these people all around scattered, so if it's a church of 50 and 20 of us is on that bullshit.
But we're not trying to give the perception of drawing strength from people per se. We're trying to draw strength. We're all ultimately trying to draw strength from God. You want to welcome the presence of God in.
So
you want to draw strength.
Church per se, that there's this presence of God.
It's not the building. It's the
so what can I do at home? That's my real reason.
Yeah, no, it's not just the building. It's the people that are gathered in the building, and we're more so talking about the people that are actively seeking. Right, like you're focused on the people that are. The people that you've had an experience with, that have been on that bull crap. Understandably so, because, that can very easily deter you. You seeing that, and it's like, you telling me to do this, and then you're doing that. That don't really make no sense to me. Why should I do that if you obviously not practicing what you preach? And I feel like that's where what I was saying is, where if that's really something that the whole church is doing, that's where your relationship with God is like, look, God, like, obviously that's not for me. Like, I need somewhere that's really gonna fill my cup up, that's really gonna get me what I need, because this is definitely not. You know what I mean? And as soon as you see that, then it's like, all right, you pray about that, and you might need to search. You might gotta search a couple times. The next church you go to might not be, or something. I was talking to my mom about, right? There's a pastor named Mike Todd. He's a big mega church preacher. Like Mike Todd, I was real interested in him when I was 17 or 18, right? Because, he has this imagery and stuff, but Mike Todd is an entry-level Christian preacher. What I mean by that is he's for people that they first getting into Christ. Like he draws them in, with his imagery and stuff. Like, they have shows, they have concerts and stuff. He draws them in. But the more seasoned you get as a Christian, you might got to move away from him, because it's a little bit too baby foolish. You need something more. So you move on to like a TD Jakes or something like that, and then it's like, well, TD Jakes might be a little bit too much. So then you move on to, I'm just naming people, but, so you at this church, what Pastor, Bishop Bullwinkle, you know what I mean?
Bishop Bullwinkle.
Yeah, and he's on bullcrap. It's like, okay, well, you not, you know, if anything, you pushing me out of the Christianity. I need to get closer. So I need to go ahead and move on from here. You know, search. You know,
Yeah. What else? Don't. And I want to go back to that part when you said flaw. There are pastors that have flaws. You know, everybody has flaws. There ain't no perfect person. And I say it because, you know, if somebody said that they don't, you let them, and I'm just using this, you let them get up 4 a.m. and they hit their baby toe on the side of the bed. What's the first thing you say? I guarantee it's not going to be Jesus. You know, they may not fully cuss, but they be, you know, like, you know, but, so and that's a flaw, you know what I mean? So there's no perfect person. So I just don't get that perception. No, none of us are perfect.
When I was saying,
I know people. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, because I see what you're saying, but I wasn't using the word flawed in that sense.
Okay.
Like, because, you know, everybody is flawed.
Yeah.
What I mean by flawed is like actively moving flawed. We're all flawed. We make a mistake. Okay, we try to do better. There's a difference between me actually moving flawed in a flawed manner, in a sense. I know this is wrong, but I'm still doing this like on purpose.
Right.
Type thing.
Right. You're not trying to, so, okay, I'll get you now. You're not trying to actually turn away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know?
Yeah, it's like you said, if you telling me not to play numbers or go to the lottery machine, but I see you there. You done change your robe and now you there. You know, so like
that's what I get it. I get it.
But I'm just saying, like, well, I'm speaking for the church, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Have you ever considered doing music in the secular world?
I've had an opportunity to do it. This has probably been, I want to say probably about 5 years ago. I had a chance to play drums in a little band. It was a little 3-piece band. Guitar player, I can't think his name. I mean, dude was actually on guitar. I think it was Sean. I can't think his last name. But anyway, it's me. I was on drums. Sean was on lead guitar. Had another bass guitar player, and we had a chance to play play at a restaurant. And one time we played in a nightclub. You know, and now not saying secular, it wasn't R&B or nothing like that, but it was just like music that I wouldn't normally play. Mm-hmm. So, and it was a fun experience. It was fun from the musical side, and then, you know, of course, I'm sitting there watching, you know, you got people that had a drum, they out there trying to dance and falling over, you know. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, as far as doing it, like full-time, mm-hmm. I don't think I could. Yeah. Just because I'm rooted in, like, the gospel and just the church, period. Yeah. So I think from that aspect, it would be kind of hard for me, but I would have to get my mindset together. Because it's about making the money. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it would be a comfortable thing. But I've had a chance to do it.
Yeah, that's something I'm struggling with now because, you know, we rap and trying to build my relationship with God, and so the stuff we rap about ain't holy at all now. You know, so so that's something that kind of just I struggle with, you know, just people like, well, you can be a gospel rapper, a Christian rapper, and it's like, but like,
you touching the green. I'm joking.
But I don't know. I feel like I just don't know. I think that's something like, I don't know. I think like my music was rooted in pain, you know, and so like now that I'm not really in pain no more, I feel like my motivation for it is just gone.
Well, I wouldn't say don't let it go. But explore a different area. Yeah. Like sometimes. So when you say gone, what you mean by that?
Like, because like I mean, the biggest reason why I wrote music is because I was in a toxic relationship. Okay. And so like I'm not in that toxic relationship no more, or even the issues I had with, you know, in my current relationship, like I see more healthier ways to deal with it. You know, like I just go to the gym. I've been to the gym in a little bit, but that's what I usually do. I go to the gym or we'll just talk it out. And so that feeling, because I used to get pissed and then boom, I go write a song. But so now it's kind of like that's gone in the sense that like, now if he send me a beat and it's really that tough, I'll probably write to it. But I don't have no for myself to write my own personal music. Like if somebody else need me, I can lay a verse, but that's about it.
So you feel like your inspiration is leaving?
Yeah.
So why not take that and flip it? Like from the negative side, you say you wrote from anger and pain that you was going through in your life and relationships. Well, try to find a positive side. Like try to, instead of, I hate you and you made me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how good the day was, perhaps. Kind of find something uplifting to maybe perhaps we. I know that might sound like it's impossible, but try it. You never know. Like
Probably is possible. We'll see. I don't know. That's fine.
sometimes scenery helps, man. Sometimes you may need stuff like, again, after you leave the gym, go park, maybe sit next to some water or something. Scenery helps.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there to you. You too. Like sometimes scenery. I'm not saying you going through the same situation, but if you trying to write, scenery can help.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. I actually do that now. Like sometimes I love the water, but I also love the stars. So I'll drive down by some water. If I'm really mad, I'll try to pull out the notepad. And it does, like when I'm having a block, even just driving, you know what I mean? Just I'll take a little 30-minute, 40-hour drive, and it's like through the different sceneries, I can feel my mind working about different things off of what I see.
Right.
So I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, I dig to write some of my best songs driving. That's probably not the safest thing to do. I'm driving down the highway and I'm trying to write, but
Especially in the city where y'all at.
oh yeah, I did write some of my best music driving. And when I had COVID, I wrote some of my best songs. It's crazy. I was like halfway down trying to write music.
No, I remember that. That was crazy.
Listen, I've had that twice.
Yeah.
First time I had it, I thought I'd leave.
Yeah.
Felt like another me was sitting on me. Like,
Yeah.
stay down.
Yeah.
COVID was crazy.
Man, that stuff, yeah.
How has your understanding of love changed since becoming a father?
I would say I've gained a deeper love, I've gained a deeper love for life, not just, of course, my daughter, it's made me value things more, instead of just taking stuff for granted, it's number one, that being time, because as we see, every day hurts real steady rolling, something happening, it's made me definitely prioritize on both ends.
Do you believe love is more about feelings or commitment? And how does that show up in your life?
Commitment. Because if without commitment, feelings is, that's a part, but commitment is also next to faith. That's also that.
Okay.
Next to faith, that's also that strong foundation. Because if two people are not committed to it, if you really not in it for the long haul, you're not gonna have anything.
That's facts.
So, and it's gotta be, like I said, if you're not building a strong foundation, anything to come and knock you off, little stuff like what we talked about earlier, fussing about toilet paper. It'll be the little things. Now you think something as petty as that, it's like you getting hit with this whole house.
Yeah.
So if you have that commitment, you can get past the little stuff.
Yeah. I think love is a choice, or like somebody, I saw such videos like somebody like, my wife asked me why I love you. Why do you love me? He said, because I choose to. And she got pissed. Like, what do you mean? Like you, but it's like, nah, like you don't get it. Like when you sick, snotty nose, I choose to love you in that moment. When you cussing me out, I choose to love you in that moment. You know what I mean? When things is beautiful at my wedding day, I choose to love you in that moment.
Right.
I choose to be here with you when that big booty shorty walking past. I choose to be here with you in this moment, you know, and not let my, you know, lust or anything take over me. And I choose to love you here. You know, I choose to love you in all those moments. Love is a choice. You choose to be there. You choose to stay here when it's hard, when sometimes you don't even feel like talking to that person. Sometimes I choose to love you in the morning when your breath stink.
Oh God! When your haze hurt, and you know, hey,
Except your haze hurt.
That's funny. That's funny.
I'm gonna start using that. I ain't gonna lie, they hate hurting, bro.
Even in the church thing, your hallelujahs hurt.
This is the type of hot I need.
But yeah, man. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's a strong commitment, and that's just on the relationship side. Now, marriage is even stronger commitment because now we're crossing over to a whole nother threshold. And as you saw at my wedding, it's more than just jumping the broom. You usually just you crossing over. If you ain't ready for it, 6 months, maybe not even 6 months, 6 days. You know, I didn't see people. It's like, what did you bother going to justice of the peace for? You know, if you weren't ready for that. Or what did you even bother doing marriage for anyway?
Because people selfish, man. They think about what they're getting out of it and not what their other person needs. Like that's something else I say a lot. Is like, you know, relationship is you have my back and I have your back, but they're thinking about what to get out of it. Well, I'm ready to get this nice ring. I get to say that I'm married. You know, I got somebody that can bend to my will and all this stuff. Not thinking about like, what do you need today? Like that's something that you know, when I was single, I used to ask like, what's 3 things I could do to make your day better? You know what I mean? So how can I be here for you in this moment? It could be something as like, you know, do you do good morning text help you get out of bed? You know, do you need me? Or like something with my girl, I used to sit there and listen to her essays. She would read it to me so that she could, you know, to see how does it sound, you know, and sometimes just reading it out loud, you didn't need my input. You heard your mess up or you might have heard this, that, and the fourth or just, you know.
But just the fact that you listen.
Even that too, to be there, you know, having somebody there, right? It just makes you feel more comfortable, makes you feel more better about what's going on. So just, you know, those type things. But people don't think about that, you know. They think about what they get out of relationships.
I think what it is that, like you said, they don't think about that. They think on the outside, you know, they don't think long term. They just thinking, oh, you know, after this wedding day, girl, you know. But it's more to it than just, okay, you know, doing that. Then you gotta think long term. You gotta, it's, again, everything we done pretty much talked about goes to where your mindset at. You know, are you committed? Is your mindset on commitment or just trial?
Yeah. And
you
I think
if not trial, one night stand.
Yeah, that too. That's something else that too people think about. Like, I get everyday puss. That's what I get right there. You know what I mean? But it's more than that too because. Yeah, but it's more than that too because if you're not, you know, being intimate or being there for your wife, you think she ready. You know, and it's not like I'm doing this so I can get that, but it's like inadvertently, me being there for you. Now you're like, well, how can I be there for you? Like, oh shoot, I'm glad that this comes with the deal.
That's when they get their question. You get their question from that side. What you bringing to the table? And that's when you go, well, listen, I'm the house that the table's in. You know, if you want that type of time, you know, you like, if you got your house, hey, I've provided the house and home.
What advice would you give to men balancing passion, parenting, and love?
Prioritize. Yeah, that's the main thing. Prioritize. Make time. Definitely make time for your family. Make time. Prioritize your time. Don't try to be Superman all the time. You know, because you're gonna get burnt out. You know, I don't care what level you're on, whether you're the highest paid lawyer or if you are whatever you do, you're gonna get burnt out either somewhere, whether it be physically or mentally. But that's the main thing. Prioritize.
Yeah.
You know, that would be my main thing. Prioritize your time and just enjoy life as well. But prioritize.
Does society want strong men or obedient ones?
Strong. Any strong man. Mm-hmm. Obedience, yes, obedience is good, but we need strong will. Those of us that can protect, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you ever been in love with someone who had no business being in your life?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll leave that where it is. I keep telling you, I won't go home now.
Alright, so finish this sentence. Love is.
You want the Kurt Franklin version? Or you
No, what's your version?
Nah, but love is. And it's gonna sound like this, but love it really is patient. You gotta have patience. You gotta have, forgiving. You gotta have commitment. Because either way, your love is not gonna stand without commitment. So love is fragile. You gotta remember that it's fragile. It's not something to be played with. And it's if you're not ready for that, don't use that word. Don't, because too many people have. Yep. That's also the reason why some are in the grave today. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're playing with somebody's emotions. It's just not. It's not a game. Love is, again, going back to that fragile part, especially when you're with your girl or the wife, whatever. Mm-hmm. You gotta know that you're not just showing love to her. Mm-hmm. You also, when you get on, I'll say, when you're in a marriage perspective of it, you're not just showing love to her, mm-hmm. You're also showing love to the little girl inside her. Mm.
God damn. Oh, excuse me.
But you gotta remember, you're just not just showing love to her on the outside. There is a fragile, abused, hurt little girl that has been wounded, heavy, and anything. Not on, and I know that could be. How can I say it? That could be presented as like, some hurt little girl. Oh, no. In life, like you said, life experiences have hurt one. I lost it. Mm-hmm. Life experiences have hurt her as well. So, and she's built walls up, mm-hmm. where she feel like she can't trust no man. Mm-hmm. Whether it be, let's go here, whether it be she might have been molested. Mm-hmm. She might have. So you got to remember, when you can't treat all females the same. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's part of learning. You gotta learn a female first. Yeah. Learn before you start throwing the L word around. Learn. And that goes on both sides of the coin. You might need healing as well. Yeah. But women are fragile. So I've learned that. So I'm just saying, like, you just remember that you're not just talking to your girl. There's a hurt little girl inside there.
That resonates.
I'm about to say, you hit me on that one. I ain't gonna hold you. That
resonates.
A hurt little girl in there. She's not. That's a deep place. So next time y'all have a disagreement, and I'm not telling you I'm not right. I'm not letting myself. I've been married 11 years. You got to remember that. Mm-hmm. That when she cries, it's not just her crying. Mm-hmm.
think that's real because you know how like when you first meet a girl or a woman rather, you know, they're all tough, but then the more that you open them up, they're soft, and they're allowing that little girl inside them to be with you. You know what I mean? They feel comfortable enough to let that out, right? Yeah. And so sometimes we take that for granted and then don't even think about that or recognize that. Like, you know,
That's because most time men, we on what our pride. You know, I'm the man.
right?
You gotta really think about that. And vice versa for women. They gotta remember sometimes with some men, you guys are hurting. You guys are hurt over it and that.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure. Don't let this beer fool you. I said, don't let this beer fool you.
Great. Don't let this wait for you. Because like you know, you can't be, because women can say things that hurt us as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want to say that. It's not always admitting. But it's got to be. That's why I said love is fragile. So you got to really think, like I said, for men, really thinking that that's that little girl that's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Women really think that inside that strong, willpower man,
Mm-hmm.
there's still a hurt little boy that has not gotten a chance to fully express itself.
Yeah. Wow.
Because what are we taught as men?
Hold it strong.
You know, you cry, shut up. You know, then you get daddy's girls. It's like, oh baby, what's wrong?
Mm.
See, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this out here, and this is something that I don't think nobody realizes. When the girls are young, what do they play with? Dolls. And when we are young, most boys play with what? Chocolate trucks and all that.
DNS Soldiers.
We play with power. They have a chance to practice. They've already had a chance to practice playing in the house. So they've had a chance. I'm saying that to say they've had a chance to kind of prepare for something that we may not have had a chance to. Not supposed to, because we always been taught to do, you know, stay tough, don't cry, don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have already been introduced to the emotional side and the deeper part of love.
Yeah.
So if that makes sense. I'm trying to be
Look, man, you gotta meet
I ain't trying to be super deep.
Think about this.
You can stay with us for the rest of the year. Good. That might be one of the top quotes we had on here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like different arguments I've had, and I'm not even thinking about that. It's like, damn, that is a hurt little girl right there. It could be something totally different that we're arguing about. We could be arguing about the trash, but it's nothing to do with the trash. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, damn, now I feel like an ass.
Yeah, words can hurt, man. You know, sometimes, like you say, you in a high point of the moment, you know, it's just flying off your tongue.
I gotta go apologize.
I was about to say, I know that.
I gotta go apologize.
That's crazy.
Let me find out and turn both of y'all soft in that. I'm joking, you know.
But nah, like you turned me on to something for her. Like you just opened my mind to a different perspective.
Nah, for real. Yeah, man. That was a good one. Yeah, you a lot of coming around table, man.
I'm with
I ain't gonna treat me like Mike Jones back then. He want me now.
Yeah, but I mean, dang, you got any other questions? You got anything you want to say before? Anybody want to shout out?
And this has been fun. Shout out to my wife. Love you, babe. Yeah, like what I just said. I love you. Love my daughter. Proud of you. And just keep going. Thank you all for letting me in.
Absolutely. Thank you for reaching out.
I hope that I answered the questions and fun with this one.
Oh yeah, fun too.
Well, thank you for tuning into the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. You want to shout out your social media or not?
Yeah. Get it off there.
Yeah, well, you can follow me at Robby Too Fast on all social medias.
DNS Soldier, all platforms.
You can follow the platform at Two Sides of the Heart podcast.
And as I always say, oh, you gotta cover your ears, surfing the God right here. But